In a previous video, I showed you how there are these two RFID writers that look very similar, but one of them, if you try to change the RFID tag in your Kyber crystal with it, it will lock it to that number and you won't be able to change it afterwards. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to lock this into one number, not show you that I can't change it again, and then I'm going to show you how to fix it using a Proxmark3 Easy. There are a few different variations of Proxmark3 hardware out there. Some of them are very expensive and cost hundreds of dollars. This iteration, this is a Proxmark3 Easy. This, I believe, costs $60 on eBay. You might be able to find it for cheaper. But we'll get into more of that in a minute. So first I'm going to show you that this Kyber crystal is working fine. I'm going to read it, and you can see the number 3072. That's a Ahsoka crystal. So now I'm going to change it, but not with this. I'm going to change it with this. This is the bad RFID writer. You know it's bad because it has a blue background. It said oboe hands at the beginning, and the critical key to knowing that you've got a bad RFID writer is it can't read the crystal no matter what you do. So if I just keep hitting the read button and I keep moving the crystal position around on the back, because sometimes the crystal needs to be at just the right spot to read it. And if you do this 20-30 times and it never reads the crystal, then you know you've got a bad RFID writer. Do not use it to change the RFID of your Kyber crystal. Otherwise, it will get locked into that number and you'll never be able to change it. So let's do that. 3072 was the number that was on here, so let's make it 3073.
Please enter the 3073. Enter the correct card number is 30.
Alright, so now I'm going to put the Kyber crystal up. I'm going to hit right, and it's going to say failed.
Right failure.
I'm going to do this a couple of times because I want to make sure the right takes. I have no way to know whether or not it worked.
Right failure.
So the reason it says failure is because after it writes, it reads the number back. But this thing can't read the number back, so it keeps saying it's failed. It hasn't. It took effect. It's changed the number. I'll show you now. Oh, read. There we go. It's changed now, 3073. Now here comes the problem. Now I want to change this to something else. Let's make it 3074. And I'm going to try and write that. And it's going to fail. And I'm only going to try and write to it a couple of times here just to prove the point before I move on. The previous video that I'll link in down below covers this in way more detail. Okay, so this is now locked to that number, 3073. We need to change that. So what I'm going to do now is bring in the Proxmark3. And there's a couple of things I should probably talk about real quick. There are different hardware variations of the Proxmark3 out there. There's also different versions of software for this thing. So the syntax that I'm going to show you when I unlock this may be different for you if you have a different type of Proxmark3 or different software. The idea will still be the same. The numbers that I put in will still be the same. It's just the syntax will be different. You'll need to figure out what the syntax is for yours. All right, so I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to come over here to my computer. Actually, let me get set up for that. On the right is the Proxmark3 with the Kyber crystal over the antenna, and on the left we have the Proxmark3 client. There are a few different Proxmark3 clients out there. Yours might be different, the syntax might be a little bit different, but the basic approach and process and the numbers that and the commands that I use are going to be the same or very similar. So you should be able to, even if you have a different version, as long as you use the built-in help to figure out what the correct syntax is, you should be able to do exactly what I'm doing here. So the first thing I want to do is see if the Proxmark3 can see the crystal at all. To do that, I'm going to type in a command. It's lf search. LF stands for low frequency. The Kyber crystals operate at 125 kilohertz, which is considered low frequency. So LF search, and it doesn't see it. It is sitting right over the antenna. You can see it, but it doesn't see it. This is okay. This is normal. If this happens to you, don't worry about it. I think it's just the nature of the design of the antenna used for the RFID chip in the Kyber crystals. It's a little bit finicky. You got to play around with the positioning of your Kyber crystal a little bit before it'll see it. So, for example, if I move this down just a little bit, let's try it again, and it sees it. And not only does it see it, but if you look down at the bottom, it even says that it's a valid EM4X05 chip, which is exactly what this is. This is an EM4305 chip that's in the Kyber crystals. Some of you, when you first run that LF search command, you'll see everything you see on my screen now except that last line at the bottom where it specifically says it's seeing an EM4X05 chip. Again, that doesn't mean anything's wrong or broken. It's just a clue that the position of your Kyber crystal isn't quite in the sweet spot yet. So move it around a little bit more. Like if I move this a little bit, you can see I've moved it, and now it doesn't see it as an EM4X05 crystal. Again, so all I got to do is reposition it, and it sees it. Great. So the next step now is to look at the information. Now, if you look at the last line there, it says try LFEM4X05 commands. So if you type LFEM and hit enter, these are all the commands that you can use here. So EM, LF, low frequency, EM, that's the manufacturer of these RFID tags, and then followed by the model of the chip and a command. So in this case, we care about the 4X05 commands that are towards the bottom of that help screen there. And I'm going to do LFEM 4X05 info. I'm going to hit enter. And it spits out a little extra information about the Kyber crystal. We see a serial number. And then you see on the last line there, it says it might be password protected. And this goes back to what I talked about in the last video. The read login flag was set by the bad RFID writer. That means that to read anything beyond the default information from this Kyber crystal, you need to provide a password. The bad RFID writer is not setting a password or changing the password. It's just it's changing the configuration so the crystal will require a password now. The password itself is whatever it was before, usually whatever it was when it came out of the factory. And that's, so far, in all my experience, it's always been 0. The day somebody changes it, so there's a random number there, none of this is going to work. But for right now, a 0 for a password will now provide a lot more information about the chip. Now, I don't care about the actual information that's on the screen. What I care about right now is that it has identified that it can see the crystal. I've shown that I need to provide a password to get the command to work, that it's got that read login option enabled. Again, this is just the next step in confirming the situation with the crystal before I keep moving forward. So the next step I want to do is I want to look at all the contents of the crystal, all the data that's on there. And there's a command called 4x05 dump here. And again, if you have a different version of this, the syntax, that command won't be exactly the same. It might be 4x05 _ or something like that. By typing in LF or LFEM, and you're going to get this help screen, that'll show you the correct syntax for the command. So you don't have to, if the exact command I use here doesn't work for you, look at the help, see if the syntax is correct. It probably won't be. And you'll need to alter the command that I'm using into the syntax that works for your client. Okay, LFEM 4x05 dump. And you're going to see everything is failing except for those first two addresses. Again, at this point, there's nothing to worry about. What's happened here is, again, it's password protected. It requires a password to read all that information. I need to provide a password, which I didn't. So hit the up arrow to repeat the last command, but this time I'll add a 0 onto the end of it. And now it's going to spit out all of the information that is on that chip. Now, a couple of things here. Or one thing. This might not work for you right away. Again, the idea is that the crystal's position relative to the antenna of the Proxmark3 is sensitive, it's finicky, it's touchy, it is whatever you want to call it. You might have instances where even providing a password, it still says failed all the way down, or a few of these things might say failed. And if you've got a situation where a couple of those say failed, and if you rerun the command a second time, those words that it said failed on will suddenly work. Again, it's that finicky nature of the positioning. It just means that you need to work on figuring out the sweet spot for your crystal. One trick that I want to show you real quick here is if you have a canister, if this is a crystal that didn't come with a lightsaber. Oh, it's got that stupid extra piece of plastic, which I really need in a moment. If you have the canister, stick the Kyber crystal in the canister. Put that annoying piece of plastic in there too. And then close it up. Don't tighten it all the way, just a little bit. And put it back on the antenna. Now this is what works for me. It might not work for you. This is just a suggestion. But I find that doing that and putting it dead center of the antenna like this puts it in a perfect position to get reception for the Proxmark3 to see the crystal. So if you're not getting every address read back to you right away, try that. This might help you. So we'll run that command again just to make sure it can see everything. And you see, there you go. We got a perfect example. Address 14 now says failed. And if I run it again, I bet you it'll be different. It sees it fine. So again, the point I'm trying to get across, and I will keep trying to get across, is don't give up right away if it's not working for you. It will be the crystal's position to the antenna. I mean, we're talking like an 1/8 of an inch, a 1/16 of an inch could mean the difference between it not seeing it and it reading it perfectly. It is what it is. Okay, let's fix the crystal. Speech over. Address 4 contains the configuration of the Kyber crystal. That is what we need to change. That contains all the flags that were set, including the read and write login flags. We want to unset those. It's very easy to do. We even have a command for it, and again, I'm going to do the LFEM so I can see the help message here, so I can get the syntax for it. I want to use the write word command. LFEM 4x05 write word. And then I need the word, which is 4. That's address 4. So word and address are sort of the same thing here. So word 4, address 4, okay. The data is going to be 0001805F. There's an easy way so that you don't have to remember that number. If you look at address 4 up at the top there, you can see that the value that it's currently at and what I'm changing it to, the 4 numbers on the right there, the 805F, they're the same. Most of the configuration options that those set, I don't want to touch. The first 4 numbers, though, I just want to change it to all zeros and then a 1. So 3 zeros and a 1, and then whatever it already is on the crystal. That's how you can easily remember what to change this to. Just get rid of everything except for those first 4 numbers. Get rid of everything except the 4th number becomes a 1. That's it. Hopefully that made some sense. So, write word, address 4, the data, and then the password is 0. And this is not going to work, and I've done this on purpose because, again, my interpretation of what the syntax should be based off of that help message was incorrect, because it turns out I need to add the letter A before the address, the letter D before the data, and the letter P before the password. No problems. Now I know, looking at those samples that it provides in this error message. So LFEM 4x05, write word, address or word 4, the data is going to be 0001, and then whatever it already is, which is 805F. And the case-wise, the case can be uppercase or lowercase here. It doesn't matter. And then P for the password, and then 0. I'm going to hit enter. And it says could not be verified, or write could not be verified. Now, that means that the write didn't work. This is okay. Again, as I've been saying a lot already, it's all down to the position of the crystal relative to the antenna. And remember, I said it was like a 1/16 of an inch difference. Well, let's just move it forward a little bit. I'll hit the up arrow to re-execute the command. Hit enter. See that? It says write verified. Now we know that the write worked. It confirmed it worked. The Kyber crystal has now been unlocked. And again, it was down to like a 1/16 of an inch. But this is the black magic world of RF. So now that it's fixed, let's test it out. So we can get rid of the Proxmark3 client. We can come back over here. Let's get that crystal out of that canister. Here's the good RFID writer. And we will go into that mode. We'll hit read. We can see it. Let's change it. 3074. Write to it. And it worked. Let's change it to another number. It works. The crystal has been unlocked.